Well, hi folks. Yeah, it's night. Well, this video is an update. This is kind of an extra. I've been posting one video a day for the last couple of weeks, and I plan on that continuing. I was very fortunate. I had some videos I had made and uploaded and set them up to go public every morning at 7 a.m. in advance. I had 3 videos already done and uploaded. And the reason for this update is that I almost had to shut the channel down for a while. But being that I had some videos made and I had those uploaded, I've got this one I'm doing plus 2 more that I have to edit today. And those will go up, one tomorrow and one the following day. So I've got at least the next 2 days covered. And during those 2 days, I'm going to try to get some more videos out so that I've got a week's worth or more in my coffers and I won't have to worry about them. Now, I won't know until I edit this video, but I'm doing this video on my webcam. I got a new Aukey webcam, and this is part of the update, but I got a new Aukey webcam, and that's what I'm using. I'll explain why in a minute. The first update is late yesterday afternoon, I got home, got into town late in the afternoon, and it was evening before I actually got home from the hospital. Yeah, Sty was in the hospital. Here's what happened. Wednesday, I went to work. I was supposed to work Wednesday and Thursday, and I was supposed to have yesterday off. Well, I got to work, all dressed, ready to go to work. Walk in the door. The minute I walked in the door at work, it felt like a freight train had hit me in the chest. Boom. Now, the last time I felt that, I had a major heart attack, ended up with open heart surgery out of the deal. So, I didn't panic, but boy was I concerned. I thought, man, I haven't felt that in almost 3 years. What in the world's going on? How can I be having a heart attack? I went right to the manager I was there to relieve. I'm a manager at this retail place. And I went to the manager. I said, guess what? You're working a double. And he goes, Sty, are you all right? And I go, why? And he goes, you look dead. I go, well, thanks for the compliment. And he said, no, I'm not kidding. He says, you're gray, you're ash-colored. You don't look good. I said, well, I don't feel good. I said, I'm out of here. I'm heading straight to the hospital. I said, so you're working a double, buddy, and I'll let you know what they're going to do and what's going on as soon as I know. Well, fortunately, our hospital is only about 10 blocks away from where I work. So I shot right over to the hospital. Got there, walked in the emergency room, got up to the desk, and no more than got to the desk, and I'm telling the gal, I'm holding my chest with my left hand, and I go, I think I'm having, and I felt something bump my back legs. I turned around to see what it was, and there's a guy, an orderly with a wheelchair right behind me, and he goes, sit down, please. So they obviously saw something in me that didn't look too good. Well, they got me in the emergency room. tested me for everything under the sun. I mean, they thought for sure, major heart attack, major heart attack. They were already on the horn trying to arrange for a life flight to fly me from Ashland, Wisconsin to Duluth, Minnesota to the cardiac unit at St. Mary's Hospital in Duluth. And I'm going, calm down. You know, here I'm the guy that's having a heart attack. I'm telling them, calm down, guys. No, you're not shipping me off until we know what's going on. I'm not going to get stuck with a $12,000 helicopter ride and then get there and find out, no, he's got gas. All of my heart tests came back negative. Perfect EKG. Perfect. And they did 4 of them. Perfect. Every one of them. They did my heart blood enzymes. They were not changing. They were flat, stable. Everything looked wonderful. Everything they tested relative to my heart came back negative. In fact, they said, your heart is perfectly healthy and functioning just fine. Your blood pressure is a little off, it's a little high, it's a little odd, but otherwise your heart's fine. So they're running all these blood tests and stuff, and they're not knowing what's going on, and I was in severe pain, and I kid you not, that was severe. That goes back to my heart attack days. I was just like, oh my gosh, what is going on that it hurts like this? That feeling pain like that, that's odd. And Stuy's pretty pain tolerant. I don't give in to pain easy. Then they come up with this bright idea. Maybe it's an aneurysm. He might have an aneurysm inside his chest. He may have something to do with an aorta, my aorta, a lesion or something. Then it was maybe he has a blood clot on a lung, lower lung. All these things they're coming up with. They ran me through. They did a CAT scan with what do they call it? You know, where they pump that garbage in you, contrast, so that they could see my heart real well and the inside of my chest real well. They didn't find nothing. All kinds of x-rays they did. Couldn't find nothing. But they're saying, boy, it's probably an aneurysm in there. Well, they got a hold of St. Mary's in Duluth, their cardio unit, because our hospital doesn't even have a cardiac doctor there. Not a single cardiologist in that hospital. They don't even have one on staff. Well, the cardiologist in Duluth said, don't life flight them. You can bring them up in a wagon, bring them up by ambulance. But we want them up here by mid-morning, because we're so busy right now, there's nothing we can do till then anyway. So get him here, like 10 o'clock in the morning or so. And they said, okay, we'll keep him stable and we'll keep him here at our hospital. Well, our hospital is like a luxury hotel room. That's what your room is like. It's like a luxury room. And what it is it's a luxury motel room for the rich sick. So, yeah, my insurance is going to love paying for that night. Oh, yeah, the meals are really good. They're really nice meals. And the room, I'm telling you, it looks like a motel room. Does not look like a hospital room. And all their rooms are that way. They weren't treating me special, they said. So they kept me overnight. I'm trying to stay calm and relaxed. All this pain, they were hitting me with morphine. It wouldn't even touch the pain. It didn't even put a dent in it. Then they switched me over to fentanyl. And they said, well, fentanyl is 5 times stronger than morphine. I don't know. I'm not a pharmacist. I don't know. All I know is 5 times stronger didn't mean anything. It didn't work. That fentanyl didn't even put a tad bit of comfort into my picture. So here I am in this excruciating pain. And I told him, I said, I want you to switch back to the morphine and just give me more morphine than what you were giving me. Well, no, I think we'll stick with the fentanyl. There again, that's where, they always say, do what your doctor tells you. Sometimes your doctor needs to do what you tell them because you're the one suffering, and sometimes you do actually know better. And I told him, I think if you gave me just a little more morphine than you did the first time, it might take the rough edges off at least. No. Well, all of a sudden, I turned and I looked at the doorway. And over here at the doorway stands my doctor. And she's a young gal. Best dang doc I've ever seen in my life. But boy, did she have a look on her face. She was screaming mad. She goes, they don't contact me until 3 hours after you're admitted into this hospital? She said, the minute you came into that emergency room, I should have been contacted and I should have been here. Oh, she was furious. Well, her clinic isn't part of their hospital group, so they don't feel obligated to let non-associated clinics get any details until the last minute, because you're now their customer, not patient. You're their customer. And they're not going to give you up to her when she's not part of their group. Oh, she was furious. She said, I just looked at your chart, looked at everything they did to you. She says, here's what's going to happen. I got some more blood work I'm running on you. She said, and I'm having an ultrasound done of your heart and your gallbladder. Within 45 minutes, she had me diagnosed, had St. Luke's Hospital in Duluth, Minnesota, a different hospital than the one our hospital was working with, all set and ready for me, and an ambulance on its way to pick me up, take me up to Duluth. She says, your gallbladder is so inflamed it's ready to rupture. She says, we got to get you out of here and get you up to Duluth and get that gallbladder removed. She said, and I said, well, if it's that close to rupturing, then why don't they just do it here? And she goes, oh, you don't want them doing it here. They don't do it. They used to do surgeries here, but this hospital doesn't even do surgeries anymore unless it's in triage. In an emergency room, it's we got to do a quick surgery on the spot, and then we get them out of here and send them off to a bigger hospital. So I'm off to the hospital. I realize this video is going to be kind of long, but so I get up to Duluth. The surgeon comes in to see me. I'm not even there a half an hour. He comes in to see me, and he runs his fingers, just the tips of his fingers, along my lower rib cage, back and forth, and then he stops at a spot, and he just barely gives a little pressure, a little push. I just about hit the ceiling. And they said, my God, man, I don't know what button you just pushed, but that was the worst pain I've ever felt. He says, well, you'll never feel it again, because he said, we're going to get you in surgery in a few hours, and we're going to remove your gallbladder, and things will be much better. Well, he had 4 gallbladder surgeries to do that day before he could even squeeze me in. And then he had a couple after me. So he was doing a total of 7 gallbladder surgeries in one day. When it was my turn, they wheeled me in there. They wheeled me in at 6 p.m., 6 in the evening. I was back in my room sitting up, and they said first 12 to 16 hours, no solid foods. They had dinner in front of me within an hour. So by 9, it was about 9:15. I had a meal in front of me. And they said, you're doing so well, you go right ahead and eat. But if you start feeling any discomfort, let us know so that we can control it, blah, blah, blah. Well, boy, did they do me a service up at St. Luke's. They really did. That surgeon was a sharp cookie. And he's a young man. He's in his mid to late 30s. Boy, the whole crew, all the staff, just absolutely awesome. So they put Sty under the knife Thursday night at 6 p.m. They released me from the hospital at 11 o'clock in the morning, Friday morning. They said, we usually keep someone like you for 2 days. They said, but we can already tell, and we've heard from your doctor already, that keeping you is going to be more of a problem than sending you home. Because she told him, Sty would rather be in pain at home than in pain here. And he would rather do things for himself than have all these nurses and aides doing everything for him. So my surgeon said, yeah, he's doing well enough, send Sty home. Well, I probably should have stayed the other day, because here I am. I got home last night, and it's a little rough around the edges today. Yeah. My stomach, around my navel, they have to do 4 incisions. There's 4 incisions they do to get that gallbladder out. And they were really nervous, because if it ruptured or anything went wrong while they were removing it, then they'd have to open your gut up. You know, they have to do a big incision and get in there, clean everything out. And they said, if that happens, you will be in the hospital a minimum of a week because of all the toxins that will end up in your system. Well, fortunately, they managed to get that inflamed bugger out. They said they found a gallstone the size of my thumb that had a jagged edge that had actually lacerated the gallbladder, which then caused the gallbladder to become inflamed and infected, and it had gotten inflamed to the point where it was going to burst. So they said, yeah, I was very fortunate. They said another 15 hours, and I would have been in a world of hurt compared to what I was. And I thought that was the worst hurt I had ever seen. Now, I've had friends and acquaintances that have been through that kind of business with gallbladder, and I've watched them suffer through it. And I always told myself, I don't ever want to go down that road. Don't ever want to go down that road. Well, now I went down that road. The nice thing about it is I'll never have to go down that road again. It's gone. Gallbladder's out of here. It's gone. But Sty now is homebound, in a sense, for a week. I'm on what they consider light duty. They don't want me picking up more than 25 to 30 pounds for the next 4 weeks. My work does not offer sick pay or sick leave, but we do get PTO, or paid time off, annually. Well, I had just gotten my fresh PTO for 2019. Not supposed to use it till after April 1st. Well, I'm retiring on April 6th. So I was hoping to use 5 days of that the very first week of April. My last week, don't work, just get paid for it. I knew when I ended up in that hospital, I was going to go for a week without pay. Sty's going to be eating bologna for the next month, lose a week's worth of pay. Well, yesterday morning I called my boss, my supervisor, and I said, I'm in a world of hurt here. I said, I can't. They don't want me to work for a few days. They said at least 3 days. And then they said no lifting, period, for that first week. Then go to the 25 to 30 pounds. And he said, no, stop. I don't want to hear anymore. He says, here's what's happening. Now, this is Friday morning, yesterday. He says, you are not to report for work until a week from Sunday. 9 days later. I go, I can't do that. I can't afford to have, out of those 9 days, 7 of those would have been paid days. I can't afford that. There's no way, I said. I can't do it. He said, you can. Just hear me out. He said, you're taking that 9 days off. Then you're going to come back to work on light duty. He says, you don't have to lift nothing. He says, you're the manager, for crying out loud. You tell the other staff to lift that stuff. You don't have to lift it. He says, you just run the place. He said, and those 9 days you're taking off, he said, we're using your PTO, and your regular scheduled days are all going to be paid. And I said, that's against policy. And he said, not anymore. He said, our district manager was cautious at first, said, it's against policy, we can't do that. He said, so I called the corporate HR office and talked to the vice president of HR, and he said, no way, man, you make him stay home for a week, and you pay him for that week. So, size down, but he ain't out. So, as bad as it was, and as bad as I'm feeling right now, oh, I hurt. Boy, getting in and out of this chair in itself is about a 3-minute job. It's tough getting up and down. That spot on my stomach is about the size of a grapefruit, and it's just as black as coal from the bruising. Tender. And I'm not one for pain meds. I don't like pain meds. So they gave me OxyContin, and I took one last night when I went to bed. And for crying out loud, I slept for a solid 8 hours, literally a solid 8, never woke up. That's too much for me. No, that ain't right. So I haven't taken another one. I watched my good friend Cab 7 on a live stream this morning. First thing this morning when I shook it out, I turned on the system and watched Cab 7's live stream, and I told him, his upbeat, happy-go-lucky self, and just the nature of his streams, I said that was the best pain med I've had since I had this issue. Got me straight through the morning, and I'm not feeling too bad right now. And I think I'm going to make it all the way till bedtime again. Then I'm only taking half of one of them pills, if I need it. So, that's the update on the excitement Styes had the last 2.5 days. In and out of the hospital, surgery, blah, 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 and Styes right back here in front of the camera. Now here's the other update. Like I said, I'm using this Aki webcam. I bought this Aki a little over a month ago, and I was going to use it for my live streams. But my old laptop, you all know I've been having computer problems, nothing but problems. Crashing, nothing but trouble. And that laptop was so slow, and it just wasn't doing the job. So this Aki camera was just, as far as I was concerned, was useless for that. Well, I've got a new computer. I said I was going to try to get one by April, and by golly, I've got one by March. I had it. I brought it home last night. I got home from the hospital, went over, saw my son, who's been right there helping me all along. Same with my oldest boy. He came, picked me up at the hospital, and got me back to Ashland. So I took my oldest boy out for dinner yesterday afternoon for coming and getting me. That's a little over an hour's drive just to where I was from here and then back. So he spent most of the day up there messing around with me. Excuse me. And my youngest boy said, your computer came today, because I had it shipped to him. I said, that's awesome. I said, where is it? He says, just inside my house door, so on your way home from where he worked. He says, stop and pick it up. I said, I can't pick up anything over maybe 15 pounds. He says, it's not that heavy. And he says, and you got running water with you. Have running water carry it if it's too heavy. So I got there, and it wasn't too heavy, and I got it home. And I've got it hooked up. That's what I'm running this on right now, is this new machine. This new machine is like lightning compared to that laptop. I'm not kidding. Boy, when I'm on the net, it's now. Everything's boom, boom, boom. This Aki camera's running really good for just a webcam. I'm surprised. The quality's acceptable, and especially for live streams. And it'll only get better. My machine that I have now can handle it, can handle everything. I'll be able to run OBS without any issues. Things are going to get much better on my channel over the next month or two as I tweak this machine to all my needs on the channel. So that's the update. I've got new equipment. Happy as sin about the new equipment. Went through the whole surgery thing, survived it. Sty's back and he's still kicking. Well, I tell you what, Mother Nature tries to take me out all the time. That's just become my life story. Oh, here comes Mother Nature. She's looking for Sty. She's going to try to take him out again. Ain't happening. So, anyway, that's the update. And I know this video is long. It's going to be close to 30 minutes. But I wanted to let you all know what I just went through and what's coming up. That I've got new equipment and we're going to be up and sailing. That there's not going to be an interruption in my video schedule. I'm still going to try to post a video every single day right up until the 1st of April, and then the first 2 weeks of April I may do a couple of live streams. I see there's a hiccup on my camera, but I think that's a programming error on my system here. But anyway, so I'll be up live streaming, and we'll do videos as I can after April 6th until I get the new schedule all in place, which will be 2 videos a week and 2 live streams, and two live streams a week. Sorry about the hiccups in the camera and that. I haven't had a chance to calibrate anything, so I'm just running first time I'm running this camera for this purpose. So there we go. At least I got this update out. I'm getting it out today. So, hey, thanks for sticking with me, folks. Sty's okay. Well, yeah, he's okay enough. And we're going to move on. So, until my next video, you all have a very, very nice day. Bye-bye.